Good morning from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I'm currently in Kitty Hawk and I'm headed south to go down to the little town of Manteo, which is on Roanoke Island. You may have heard of Roanoke Island. It's where the Lost Colony, the famous Lost Colony was. It was a group of settlers from, I believe it was 1585. I'll have to double check that, but it was very late in the 1500s. And they came here and settled, but they just disappeared, and it's a mystery to this day. Now there's a place down there called Festival Park, which is a recreation of what life would have been like at that time. I'm going to head on down there to Festival Park and take a look around. I'll take you along with me. So I've got my ticket. It was $10 a person, a little bit less for children. I'll put that information down below. And something that I hadn't read on the website is that your ticket is good for 2 days, so I can come back tomorrow if I don't finish it all. But I'm getting ready to head off and explore. So I think I'm going to start first with exploring the ship, the Elizabethan. There's an exhibit of pottery. It's interesting. It's pretty neat that they let you touch it. Oh, this is what they call the dance circle. It's a beautiful morning, but there's nobody here. This is the off season, so I didn't expect there to be a lot of people here, but so far I haven't seen anybody here but me. I imagine in the summer it gets much more crowded. This is the inside of what the Algonquin longhouses would have looked like. This is like a mortar and pestle, which mostly today are made out of stone, but they would have used it to grind wheat, corn. They were mostly corn growers, so they would have used it to grind their corn. Here's another example of one of their longhouses. This was the leader's house. Says the Indians had copper, which was great for them because they traded it with the English. The English were very interested in the copper. I didn't know that the Indians had metal dishware. That's interesting. It's interesting that there was a room within this long hut. I've never seen that before. For example, at the long huts in Jamestown, it's just one big open room. this is cool. This shows how they made their canoes. And the Indians made it. They started off by burning it. This was called a dugout canoe. And they kind of did a little controlled burn on it. And once they put the fire out, they used these shell scrapers to finish it. This is a very, very long one. They could have put quite a few people in this one. Yeah.
Which I'd have a whole set of these and nothing else. This is actually built on site because this is space in the ship. And what I'm going to do with this is make chair legs, table legs, walls, musical instrument.
How about that?
Tour goes back to the time of the Egyptians, by the way. And this needs a little wax. Wax cuts down a scrape. So as a turner, I have spent all these years learning this. Where you see this is level here, I make common legs for common folks, for common furniture, and I'm ready to say 100, 140 a day.
Wow.
Something like this, fancier. This is for the investors who are still on the ships when I come off the ships. And until we made buildings and furnishings worthy of their existence. All we're doing on the ships are drinking and smoking and just carrying on, waiting for us to do something. But indeed, they have money, we have skill. It takes both of us to make this work. So, say the joiner is making a chair set, 4-chair set, needs 16 legs, all must be identical. From tree branch to finished products, give me about a day and a half. Sand this out, and my last little trick. It's something I have hardly anything here, shavings. Grab a whole handful of shavings, grab this, spin this on the shavings, it buffs this out, and when I'm done I have a finish as good as anything you can do today.
And you're shaving your wood. Quite simple actually. A little stubborn.
So that acts kind of as a vice to hold it down.
Aye, this would be called a dumbhead or blockhead. That's what we call it now.
A blockhead.
Aye, it's usually just a bit of an insult these days. Got a blockhead.
I am the blacksmith.
Yeah, this would have been my hard job because I wouldn't have liked being by the fire all the time.
Well, because it is in the building, sometimes it's the best job.
Really?
I don't get rained on. It's also in the summertime when it's hot out there, say 120 degrees.
You're in the shade.
In the shade.
Yeah.
You know, that fire is 1,500 degrees, but it's right there.
Centralized. Okay.
But I am Daniel, and because I'm the blacksmith, my last name would be Smith. Take your name from your guild and from what you do. And one of the things you have to remember is I have to bring all the iron and all the coal with me. I won't be discovered in the New World for 100 years, and I won't be resupplied for a year. So I have this huge pile of all this. And I have to ask every day for permission to light this from whoever's in command for the day. Otherwise, I'm accused of wasting coal, and we'll end up in a pillory over there. So
Okay.
So I have to be real careful here. Initially, I'm making everything you need, everything from the belt buckles to cooking utensils to door hinges to nails. Our workday here is very short. First light, that's before the sun's up, and you work until you can't see anymore and stop twice a day for food. In this case, I'm making nails. I have to make nails the rate of 800 to 1,000 a day. I got some hot nails. This is
Wow.
nail stock. This is my first nail of the day, so we'll see how this turns out. Normally, I make nails the rate of 800 to 1,000 a day. That is still a little cold. I'm still getting my fire up. A little about the building. This will be the first building built here. And this will be built about a week and a half after we've arrived off the ship. This building is built with the same materials and the same manner as they built their building. Hurricane Irene, the water's head high in here. And notice our building is still here.
Wow. So what is the wall itself made out of in that?
This is called Wattle and daub. You can notice over here you'll see some wooden riprap. None of these
okay,
sticks,
yeah.
but that's your wattle. Daub, the beige you see, is actually a form of concrete. It's sand, clay, take oyster shells, grind them up, fire them, it produces lime, mix it with some grass for some strength and some water for that chemical reaction, you have concrete.
Pretty cool. It's a school where the kids can dress up.
Oh wait, you can actually shoot it?
Okay.
My impressions of Festival Park are pretty positive. I think that because it's the off season and there's so few tourists here that the number of reenactors is really low right now. They did have a couple in the settlement part. One was a blacksmith and one was doing carpentry and that sort of stuff. And I will say this, all of the exhibits are very hands-on. You're encouraged to touch and try things. There's a lot of interactive things in the museum as well, so it's great for families with kids, and it's not someplace where they have to be restrained and be quiet. It's someplace where they can really enjoy themselves and you don't have to say don't touch that. It was only $10 for me. I think I read it was $7 for kids, so it's really fairly inexpensive when you consider, you know, the price of a lot of theme parks and such. So I would say that it's a good thing to do on a cold day at the beach or a day where everybody just needs a day out of the sun. I would recommend it. I'd give it about a 7 to 8 out of 10 stars. If you look on the map of the eastern United States, you'll see that the Outer Banks of North Carolina really juts out farther out in the ocean than the rest of the coast. That makes them highly susceptible to hurricanes, and you can see some hurricane damage here. The hurricane damage and things like that is very well known here. So you can see where the last hurricane that came through did some damage here. And here's some more damage down here. You can see that it pretty much took out the boardwalk. Zoom in and see if you can see it, and they've got it blocked off for reconstruction. But this was all hurricane damage from this past season.